NFL Daily presented by Manscaped. We're going to get into our NFL Week 9 power rankings after the NFL trade deadline. If you're a guy out there and you're like, you know what? I'm looking for the perfect package. Go to manscaped.com/chat. We're going to be hooking y'all up with an awesome offer, 20% off and free shipping. That link is going to be available for you in the chat and in the description. At number 32, no surprise, it's the New York Jets at 0-8. And then at number 31, the Dallas Cowboys at 2-6.
I keep getting outvoted. I think the Giants should still be behind them.
I disagree.
But whatever, they all suck.
Not without Dak. You guys can let us know, but the Giants, they
Can't
are
wait.
next
I think
year.
it's Week 17. Cowboys-Giants. Winner gets Justin Fields, maybe.
Baby. Can't wait.
And by winner, I mean the loser of the game.
And then at number 29, the Jacksonville Jaguars,
maybe they'll get Justin Fields.
6-game losing streak here for Jacksonville from top to bottom. It is. They had a great start with Gardner. He's not starting this week. Who the heck's starting at quarterback for the Jags?
Jake Luton, baby, the I think 6th or 7th round rookie out of Oregon State. He did a good job of not turning the football over. So I am very curious to see what ends up happening there. But look, these are the bottom feeders for a reason. These teams are simply not very good.
If you guys want to let us know in the comments section who you think the worst team in the NFL is, please go ahead and do so. And if you disagree with any of our power rankings that you see on the show, you can always get at Tom on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney, and I'm on Instagram at MitchellRenz365. Let's keep it moving here at number 28, the Houston Texans at 1-6, because this has been a football team. They have Deshaun Watson, but besides that, they don't have a lot else. Number 27, the Washington football team.
Yeah, this is not a good team. These teams at the bottom are simply not good. Now, Houston, I think, will have a little bit more success as we move along. They'll be able to win a couple more games, all of that. But these are bad football teams, Mitch. And there's no way around it. These teams should not be trying to win games. Some of them probably should have sold more at the trade deadline than they actually ended up doing.
Atlanta at 2-6. I think it's amazing the amount of teams that are kind of in this realm of only 2 wins. I mean, it just goes to show that it is a clear bad hunk of garbage.
Yep.
And there's like 10 to 12, some pretty legit teams.
There are 3 really good teams that we'll get to, and then it's kind of a muddled mess with the other playoff contenders, too.
The Bengals here, 2-5-1, number 25 in our rankings. They're in a very tough division.
Good news, Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is the guy. But other than that, not too much going right.
You want to know something else about Joe Burrow?
What?
He uses Manscaped, and you guys should too. Manscaped.com/chat. I'm not going to give away any secrets, but I've heard that's the reason why he threw for 65 touchdowns, won the Heisman last year. 20% off and free shipping. Every single guy out there, go get yourself the Lawnmower 3.0. It is the best tool out there to make sure that your Joe Exotic is looking extra exotic. Manscaped.com/chat. Let's go to the Minnesota Vikings, who picked up a win this week. Dalvin Cook.
Good for them. They did a good job.
The Fighting Dalvin
They're
Cooks.
still bad.
The New England Patriots, 2-5, number 23 on our list. Cam Newton, this team is...
Is the tank secretly on it in New England?
It should be.
I mean, Newton's having a rough time throwing it because the offense isn't very good, but we'll see what happens.
And let's go to the best team in the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm actually surprised that a team in the NFC East was this high. I had them lower.
Someone has to make the playoffs in this division,
Disgraceful.
Mitch. So it'll end up being Philadelphia. And when we do playoff power rankings, they'll be last every single week that they're in it.
Probably, as they should. Who's going to end up winning the NFC least? No, that is not a typo. It is the NFC least. Is it going to be the Philadelphia Eagles type PHI? Maybe it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys. Give us a DAL. Nope. Washington type WAS. Or the New York Giants NYG. The Los Angeles Chargers at 2-5 are next up here on this list.
They are so close.
They're so good at losing.
To legitimately being 5-2.
Sure. But it's been the story for the last 10 years, I feel like, with the Chargers. They can't win when it matters the most. Let's go to a team that, beat them this past week. The Denver Broncos at 3-4. Didn't make any moves at the deadline, but maybe they can get back Von Miller.
I don't know what to make of this team right now.
Sure.
Like, I think they're pretty good, but I don't know if they're going to – I think they're okay, I should say, because they're, If Drew Lock can play like he did in the fourth quarter every game, they're going to be a playoff team. But he's been inconsistent. Here's my point on Denver. Let's see how Drew Lock plays. I know people who want Drew Lock out and some think he's the second coming. Let's see how he goes in the back half of the season because it's important for him and for Denver.
Come again? All right, the Lions at 3-4 here. They're not going to have Kenny Golladay for 3 weeks. Let's just then go to the Carolina Panthers as well at 3-5. Matt Rule has done a phenomenal job with that football team.
They're exceeding expectations, and that's
especially without Christian McCaffrey. And then the San Francisco 49ers at 17 at 4-4. I mean, with a fully healthy roster, this team is easily top 10, but I don't know what we're going to get this week.
Look, Jimmy Garoppolo's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. They'll be able to run the football with some success.
Maybe.
Like against the Packers are a bad run defense.
But they're just going to stack the box. There's
then,
nobody in their right mind that's going to
spread it out and you run shotgun. You can't stack the box like against shotgun. If you go
when
3
you have
or
Nick
4
Mullins,
right,
you can.
Then they're going to have nobody back deep. Like
49ers
stack boxes are because you don't spread opposing teams out. That's why you get stack boxes.
All right. So make sure you guys are joining us here every single live show that we end up doing. We normally go live Monday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. You also find out that, hey, if there's something big going on around the NFL, we're also live there as well. I set a goal. I wanted to get to 206,000 subscribers by the end of today.
Ooh, we're close, baby.
Help us out here. We only need about a little over 100 more.
We're
close. If you haven't already subscribed to Chat Sports, make sure you do. Dropping daily videos. That's why we're called NFL Daily. Top 16, the Miami Dolphins at 4-3. This team deserves a lot of credit.
Brian Flores, the job he's done with that defense, it's really impressive, guys.
Absolutely. At number 15, the Cleveland Browns have won 5 games against easy teams and have lost 3 games against good teams.
They beat the Colts. So they've won a
true.
game against a good team, and that's what happens. When you beat the bad teams, for the most part, and lose to the good teams, for the most part, you end up being around 500, and that might just get them in the postseason.
Maybe the most confusing team next up here on the list, the Chicago Bears. Offense ranked 31, defense top 3. Can you just get halfway decent quarterback play? This is easily a top 10 team.
Probably not. This is kind of a muddled part in the rankings. A lot of teams with 5 wins and or 3 losses here.
The Rams 2 weeks ago took care of business against the Bears. They're 5-3. But you get the good Jared Goff, and you get the Jared Goff you saw last week with 4 turnovers.
Goof. That's his name.
Yeah, well,
Jared Goof. And there's been a lot of Jared Goof this year.
He looked like a goof. At number 12, the Las Vegas Raiders. Great offense. That defense, though, still a bottom 5 unit. Did just get a win 16-6 over Cleveland. Let's see if they can get a win this week up against the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 11, the Indianapolis Colts at 5-2. They would have just stunk that week 1. They could easily be 6-1 right now.
I think the Colts have done a pretty solid job overall this year. Obviously, that game against Jacksonville killed them.
Sure.
But they continue to just hum along, going about their business, and in the end, being a pretty good football team.
A team that's been rolling here, the New Orleans Saints, led by Alvin Kamara. I believe Alvin Kamara right now is on pace to break Christian McCaffrey's receiving record. I think he's on pace for 126 receptions as a running back. Yeah, that's pretty good. Buffalo Bills at 6-2. Point differential -1. They got a real tough test this week.
I want to make note here as we get to 9-4. I don't know how to rank these next teams.
I'm with you.
That is a giant cluster. They all got 2 losses, some losses against each other. Take your pick. I apologize in advance for hating on your team.
All right, top 8 here. Arizona Cardinals at 5-2. They play the Miami Dolphins this week, led by Kyler Murray. At number 7, the Green Bay Packers playing on Thursday Night Football. Will they get that revenge game up against San Francisco?
They just laid a clunker against Minnesota.
That's the issue.
They probably would have been top 4.
Oh, yeah.
If they just beaten the Vikings. Instead, they drop all the way down to 7. I mean, you had him at 8. I had him at 7. Harrison had him at 6.
I didn't know where to put him.
It's tough, and I still think, though, Mitch, they're the favorites to win the NFC North.
You think?
Yeah.
All right, how about this? We'll let the audience decide.
That's fair.
Who ends up winning the North here? Is it going to be the Packers type GB? Maybe it's the Bears type CHI. The Minnesota Vikings led by Dalvin Cook. Give me an MIN. Or I think it's going to be the Detroit Lions type DET.
Maybe one of the 2 teams on the left.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go on the left. I'm going to be typing my GB. I see Jacob Anderson typing GB, or Jacob Anderson's typing Chicago. Trey Gaming says GB. John Rencorn GB. Trick Shot for Nerds. Also going to go with the Green Bay Packers. 25% of the votes for the Bears. Looks like about the other 75 coming in for Green Bay. At number 6, the Tennessee Titans at 5-2.
Why'd you lose to the Bengals?
I know.
Last week was weird, man. There were some big-time upsets people did not see coming, and that keeps Tennessee outside the top 5.
The Baltimore Ravens have lost 2 games to 2 very good football teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs, so they find themselves in the top 5. A little bit of a,
I
guess, MVP hangover.
They dropped, but, Tennessee and Green Bay also lost. So, everyone kind of falls down, and in the end, it's not that much of a rise there. I still think this Ravens team is good. I think they still have a real chance to win the AFC North.
All right, how about this? Who's going to end up winning the North? Is it going to be Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland? Sorry, Bengals fans, I don't think it's very likely.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I mean, there's always a chance.
Bengals go undefeated the rest of the way.
Sorry, I don't see that happening. But AFC could get 3 teams into the playoffs. AFC North, that is, into the playoffs.
It's possible, yeah.
That's definitely a possibility.
Absolutely a possibility.
You guys ready to get into our top 4? Hope so. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 6-2, led by Tom Brady. They tried to sleepwalk through the Giants and almost got caught.
I in the end settled on them being 4.
Yeah.
But the way they looked against the Giants, I was like, fine, I guess.
If they come out this week, whoop the Saints, because now that Antonio Brown's
I'll feel
activated,
a lot better about them.
It's just, do you put them over Seattle, who's number 3? That's a tough decision to me.
Let's see what Seattle does.
I mean, this offense looks incredible. Can the defense get a little bit better? I mean, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett here for the Seahawks. I mean, it would be one of these teams that, these are my favorites in the
I think
NFC.
At least for this week, there was a pretty clear top 3.
Yep.
And I felt pretty good about Seattle being that number 3 team. And really, my 1, 2, 3, I felt great about it. Was my 4 through 13. I was like, I don't know.
Right. I literally, as I was doing, I was like, coin flip. Okay, you get to go here. At number 2 here in our NFL Power Rankings after the NFL trade deadline, it's the Kansas City Chiefs at 7-1. Only lost to the Las Vegas Raiders. We've said it a few times here in the studio. The only team that beats the Chiefs is the Chiefs. And I am actually a believer in that, because if you were to put the Chiefs up against our number 1 team, the Steelers, I'd actually probably still take Kansas City.
But Pittsburgh's undefeated, so because I respect what's happened during the NFL season and winning 7 games is super difficult, I'm going to put Pittsburgh at number 1. I will make note it was not unanimous, though.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Team rankings here, stuff happens.
So here's the best team in the NFL. Let us know in the comments. This is one of those where we thought there was a clear top 3. Yeah. Steelers, Chiefs, the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, though, the thing I love about Chat Sports, the thing I love about sports in general, people are always going to disagree. People are always going to let you know. So if you disagree with our top team, type O for other. If you want to actually comment who that team is, please go ahead and do so. But let us know who the best team in the NFL is after the 2020 NFL trade deadline.